I mean, generally, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
do I
why?
think it goes too far? Do I think it gets fucking weird? I mean, obviously, right? But like,
Okay.
I
So the first thing you said to me is, "Yeah, it sucks, but
well, that's
I
kind of
like
like
it."
being
So tell
like,
me why.
well, like having a leg surgery that you need to survive sucks, but like you die without it, and it seems like
So
we die without
okay,
capitalism. So,
okay. So we die without capitalism.
well, like, how would you like to live in the
What?
world before 1875?
So there was capitalism before 1875. What do you think the slave trade was,
Um, I
buddy?
guess capitalism requires
Buddy?
some sort of
No,
free
no.
ability of people to trade.
Yeah. So they
So
were trading slaves freely. Yep. That's what they were doing. Please stop.
would you call it capitalism? Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I guess
What?
fair enough. Yeah, I guess fair enough.
Yes.
You could call it capitalism. Yeah,
It's not could. It was. It was the pursuit of capital.
right. But
Right. You're
capitalism was
right.
the engine, was the political system used by
Capitalism isn't a political
industry,
system. It's a economic system.
economic system, whatever you want to. Yeah,
Not
economic
whatever. These are
system.
distinctly different things. These aren't
Well, I mean,
interchangeable.
they've melded, I
Oh.
guess.
Did you go to college?
What question would you like to ask me?
Did you go are you a college educated person or are you a high school educated person?
I have multiple degrees.
Okay, so what the fuck? Me too. What the fuck?
What?
What degrees are they? Fucking TIG welding? What's happening here?
I mean,
How don't you know
engineering
this?
and computers related. Yeah.
Okay, then
I
you
mean,
should be a fucking smart guy. You had to take at
well,
least
no,
one fucking
I just
intro
I
history
took
class to get your degree. You had to like satisfy your
right, right.
associates, and you just fucking just melted out of your brain.
No, I took a I see capitalism as the economic organization or the system of organization that industry primarily developed under. And so my point was is that the Industrial
So
Revolution ushered in wealth for the average person far more, at least
so
compared
we
to
just
what they
we
used to
just
have.
watched a clip where we showed that the Industrial Revolution did in fact not do that, and it led to mass poverty and the Great
Would you
Depression.
say you're poorer now than you were in than people in 1650?
So I'm not poorer than the people that
Okay,
were
so
under
what
the
do you
Great
think was responsible for
than
that?
the Great Depression because of the FDR acts and the New Deal.
FDRX and the New Deal.
So yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
the
So
financial
I guess
reformation of the United States after the failure of capitalism during the Great Depression, due to the fact
so
that they had
your
massive
claim
wealth
is that
distribution. Yes.
so your claim is that like pre World War II or even pre Great Depression, average wealth in the West, like for the median wealth in the West wasn't increasing between 1875 and 1920 some.
It was for white landowning men.
Well, to be clear, they were the citizens at that time, right?
White
But to be
landowning men
clear,
were
like,
the only acknowledged citizens.
well, okay, no, but
Oh, okay. So
what
you
am
see
I
some
trying to
systemic
say?
problems when you see when you say, "Oh, look, wealth was good." No, for a very small subset of people, it was good. I
Well,
agree
no,
with that.
it's my understanding that from 1875 to 1920, even non-landowning white men were doing okay as well.
We're doing
Like, doing way
okay.
better.
What do you mean way
We're
better
doing
than
way
what?
better than they had historically.
Had historically under fiefdoms, like
Well, pre-1875.
pre
whatever system that.
1875. What do you mean? Like the colonial era?
Well,
Who are you comparing them to? Other colonists?
well, so it's
Other
my
American
understanding that
colonists or
1870
Europeans in like a city? Because no,
Right,
they
so
had
it's my-
they were worse off than people in like
Right.
France.
So in order to do this, we need to be able to like take turns, right? So I'm sorry if I interrupted you there, but
No, you
know,
can talk.
I guess
We can have a conversation. Go ahead.
yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that the wealth of the world in general exploded in 1875, largely due to the Industrial Revolution. Now,
Wealth.
you can claim,
but you're claiming wealth is like tied to well-being, and that's just obviously untrue.
It's cold.
well, wealth defined broadly. I'm not saying like just dollars in pockets. I'm saying like the total resources available to mankind exploded after 1875.
So after
Would
the
we agree
Industrial
there?
Revolution, but that was due to the labor of the people doing the industry, right?
I don't disagree.
Okay, and so the problem of your capitalistic vision of giving Jeff Bezos all the money he wants is what failed those people and caused the FDR Reformation. Your philosophy on this is what led to that. because the robber barons, the billionaires of the time, the Rockefellers, etc., had all the money funneled to them, and they were not doling it out to the workers who were building that profit up. And then we had labor riots throughout the country. I'm from Michigan. Detroit still has fucking brick holes in the fucking windows of some of these factories that got shut down during the time. Like, this went on for a long time, and there was death. We had corporations paying for people to be assassinated. They were killing coal miners. They were killing fucking just oil yard guys. They were slaughtering people, and with the Pinkertons and shit. And then eventually we got labor rights. This was all, of course, only involving white people. Not until later during the Civil Rights Act did other groups start to get access to this wealth. So when you say wealth, no, I totally disagree with that. It's only from a white man's perspective, a white straight man's perspective, that you can even say that.
Are you saying that Black Americans are richer today than they ever have been?
They are now post these revolutions in society. Yeah, but they weren't.
You're saying that you would rather be a Black American man in 1945 than you would before 1875?
You're what?
Would you rather be a Black American man in 1945 or a Black person anywhere else in the world before 1875?
Well, as you can see, that they had more social rights in 1945 than they did in 1875, right?
Right, so it seems like we were moving in the right direction.
Right, so it seems like because of the social change, they were able to finally benefit from industrial. What you're seeing is just more efficiency in science. It's not like industry and capitalism didn't run that. Science and labor did. The
so science how do you of being define able capitalism?
Capitalism is the pursuit of capital.
So, I mean, right? Are you saying that
you have socialist fiat currency to trade and stuff?
Well, socialist governments pursue capital all the time. They nationalize their natural resources.
I'm not saying you have to get rid of markets altogether. We're obviously too stuck in capitalist ways for us to get rid of like secondary markets of like your basketball shoes or Taco Bell or fucking PlayStations. Obviously, the cat's out of the bag on that. What?
Who would want to get rid of those markets? Don't you want to be able to sell things to people when you want to?
I have no problem if you want to sell things to people that they do not need. Absolutely. My problem is when you pay-gate survival necessities, which is obviously unethical. And in every country that we eliminate one aspect of survival necessities from the need to be purchased, like housing, healthcare, education, food, and every single one of those cases, human life expectancy goes up, their thriving goes up, their happiness quotients go up, their productivity rises, and the numbers of families they have rise.
Okay, so I guess you would agree that like basic necessities are taken care of in the United States at all levels of the socioeconomic hierarchy, right? So like there's no one
they're obviously
running out
not
of calories
all taken
or
care
water.
of.
There's no one like right?
Obviously basic necessities are not taken care of.
Well, it depends on how you define basic, right? But like we can agree, like water, calories.
No, you have to pay for water and calories. You have to pay for them.
So you're saying there are people starving to death in the United States?
I'm saying that they are forced to pay for these things. There are definitely people that are malnourished and undernourished.
Somehow getting them.
There are people that are. So when we say starvation, you mean like distended bellies, never eating food, right?
Yeah, dying of starvation, the average outcome of like most of the world before 1875. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean tuberculosis. But so, you're not an anti-vaxxer too, are you?
Frankly, I like most vaccines.
Oh, fucking good. You're not insane. So, you're reachable then if you're not an anti-vaxxer. Safe and clean water. So
the measles thing is crazy.
So to pay-gate food, like calories and water, as you put it, is unethical, unless we are like secondarily producing them or something. Like I don't think like walking into a restaurant like a Popeyes or whatever, I don't think you can demand chicken from the Popeyes because like this is a thing that they're doing transformatively to the thing. But I think that at a consumer level, you should be able to walk in and get access to produce from your local community and not have to pay for that and just have the store be subsidized on the back end because we already do. And this would increase the general nutrition. It would make people not reliant on corporations for their well-being, which is what we have sold the American people. We have sold their nutrition to corporations. So instead of being able to like go eat food, they have to spend 40 plus hours at a job that doesn't give them benefits for low pay, and they might have to have a second job just to support a family that they didn't have the education to avoid having, or they don't live in a state where they could have gotten an abortion or something.
I don't think we generally disagree on a lot of things you're saying here. The issue I'm having is, I guess, down to definitions. I like to get the definitions like very, very precise before we continue, so we can actually have sorry, I'm a conservative person, so
you're a conservative person.
Yeah, I like things like boxed in, I guess. So like the gist of what I'm trying to say is that like no one in this country is starving to death, dying of dehydration. So
that's not the claim that anyone's making. And people die of dehydration all the time. But you could do that just like not paying attention to your own water intake and drinking like fucking coffee all day or something. But
right, so you basically have to be a blithering idiot that just doesn't pay attention to their body's natural signals.
That's crazy. Listen. So when you pay gate healthcare and you pay gate nutrition and you pay gate housing,
what person can't get into the emergency room?
Can you listen? Just listen. I promise it'll be okay. You'll be fine, and your worldview will probably live in the dissonance in your mind anyways. So you don't have to worry about this. So when you pay gate healthcare, which is like you're saying, who can't go to the emergency room? Is healthcare the emergency room to you?
Well, it's life-saving healthcare.
What is healthcare?
Again, it comes down to the definition.
Yes, I'm asking you. What do you think healthcare is?
I think life-saving healthcare is
No. What is healthcare?
I think preventative healthcare is treatment before that.
Preventative healthcare. Okay, so as you're a comp sci guy, you want things in little boxes. What's more efficient, preventing illnesses or reacting to illnesses?
Obviously preventing, yeah.
Obviously preventing. So what is the most efficient way to prevent illnesses in America?
Healthy diet.
Okay, so that's definitely one way.
Healthy diet and exercise knocks out 95% of it.
Sure, you could do that too. What is going to ensure that these people have access to these things?
Well, I mean, to be clear, you can go get a vegetable heavy diet with a little bit of meat for very, very cheap in the United States.
Okay. I don't think you're.
I think maybe for the average person.
I think maybe you see where I'm going and you don't want to go there, and that's okay.
I mean, what you're saying is like we take on
So preventative healthcare is obviously cheaper, obviously. And so instead of pay gating it at the point of consuming, like at the point of sale, you could call it, we should subsidize that and let everybody have access to healthcare so that we prevent these massive health problems in the future. They can get these feedbacks from doctors because as well as anybody else that Americans are not well educated on their health, or
they're also less healthy than any European country on earth.
And do you know why?
Well, I mean,
what do you think? Do you think this is just uniquely American disposition? That is untrained.
Yes, actually, our health is uniquely bad.
Okay, we're uniquely bad, and there's no systemic difference between a European nation with socialized healthcare and an American one.
I think the Europeans limit what kind of chemicals and shit can be put in the food.
God, dude, it's like you're just.
I think that's a big part of it.
I think you are obviously.
Do you have any evidence that's due to their healthcare, how they organize their healthcare resources?
Yes, the evidence is that in countries that don't have socialized healthcare, they experience similar problems. Yeah,
that's a correlation, not a causal analysis.
It's definitely a causation. It's obviously a causation that if you do not have access to
post the evidence that's a causal relationship.
Just listen. Do you think you are more or less likely to prevent disease if you have access to preventative healthcare? Fuck, that sucks.
But it depends on what you mean by preventative healthcare. Oh my God.
I mean by preventative healthcare, the ability to go to a doctor and get regular checkups.
That's like asking me if we would have less sick people if we had infinite healthcare resources. Obviously, yes. The problem is not that we have all these resources that are being hogged by the elite.
Yes, it is. What are you talking about? It genuinely is. Have you ever talked to a healthcare professional about this?
So it's your understanding that doctors in this country are like they have no people to see except for hyper-wealthy people, and their schedules are open, and they just only work 3 days a week?
No, they are not open. We are understaffed because people are pay-gated from the education, so we don't have enough people in the education system able to pursue medical degrees. We also don't We do not encourage it enough in other people. We also have a brain drain problem because conservative people.
But you admit that we have constraints on our overall healthcare resources, right? That don't allow every person to get top-notch healthcare in this country, regardless of how we organize it.
What do you mean? The problem. Okay.
You're admitting to resource constraints.
No,
You're admitting
it's
that
not.
we don't have enough
It's not a
healthcare
constraint
resources.
of healthcare resources. It's a constraint of money from the people trying to pursue healthcare. They do not have a limit of the resources.
You're saying that it's just a lack of dollars, not a lack of actual professionals that can do medicine.
It's not a lack of. It's not a lack of dollars to do it. It's a lack of demanded dollars from the corporations that are keeping healthcare from the people.
Why? How are the corporations keeping healthcare from the people at the healthcare resource level?
What do you mean they pay gate the healthcare? The
Right.
doctor can't just go take healthcare resources and give them to patients and then tell the corporation they work for to fuck off, because you and people like you have sold American healthcare to corporations and to pursue profit.
Are you talking about insurance,
not to pursue
insurers?
quality healthcare, but to pursue profit?
Are you talking about healthcare insurers? What specific industry or like group of organizations are you talking about that are gatekeeping?
That are gatekeeping healthcare?
Yeah.
The entire healthcare system is forced to charge people for healthcare
so that they can provide for their families and like live. Yes.
Do you think
a
doctor makes commission off healthcare?
No, but I think
a doctor doesn't make commission on healthcare. So a doctor doesn't make commission on healthcare. So it's not. You admit that it's not about the doctor making ends meet. The doctor gets paid.
Well, it's about everyone that is in the
everyone in the hospital. The shareholders of the hospital do not need to make billions of dollars because they don't provide labor to the hospital.
Are they making? What hospital in this country is making money hand over fist?
Do CEOs make or do any labor in a hospital to provide health care for people?
Make billions of dollars? Is that your question?
Is the pursuit of healthcare to make billions of dollars or to have healthcare?
Do you want your
doctor, if you have cancer, to be more worried about curing you or making a dollar? If it becomes cheaper to not treat your healthcare, to not treat your cancer, do you want them to choose that option? Because they do regularly.
No, I obviously
not,
yes.
because it's you, you selfish fuck. But when it comes to somebody else, you're like, well, they got to make their money. You idiot.
Well, no.
You're fucking stupid as shit, man. That sucks. Why would you be this way? You know when it comes to you and yourself,
you're
you want their motivation.
No,
you want their motivations to be about your healthcare. But then you, on the other side of it, argue that no, their motivations should be capitalism.
Like what?
That's crazy. That's insane.
No, what person that's delivering a product or service to you would you prefer have a profit motive over the actual quality of the service? Like that's true for literally everybody. So what you're doing right now is you're devaluing.
That's true for literally everybody, except for your CEOs and their shareholders, right? That's when you say the job is valid.
CEOs work harder than any human being. Have you ever been around a CEO?
Yeah, I'm a CEO right now.
I've been around multiple Fortune 500 CEOs.
That's
These people
so
are the
cool,
hardest working
dude.
people
You should
you've ever
have
seen.
taken the opportunity when you had it to tell them to shove their.
Like I'm not a fan of billionaires. I don't like billionaires, to be clear. But like
I don't like billionaires.
But
then why are you advocating for them right now, idiot?
Okay, so there are issues with capitalism.
Answer that. Why are you advocating for them? Because you're making arguments on behalf of billionaires, but you're saying I don't like billionaires. And then when I ask if you want healthcare, you say yes, except when it's other people's healthcare, you want them to look at profit.
No, that's a fair criticism. I understand. So, like, my position is not that billionaires, like, having a class of people that are so ridiculously wealthy that they can just buy, you know.
But that's what we have.
Cities
and then
and
you just voted against them being taxed.
Well, no, I do think the billionaires and corporations should pay.
But you voted for Trump, right?
In the United States. Yes, but for different reasons.
But you vote not for different reasons. You voted for the whole fucking package, idiot. So you voted for him to give tax breaks in the billions to his billionaire friends, you fool. And so part of this is your fault, you fool.
But you understand that, like, with only two people to vote for, you have to vote on entire packages, not just individual.
Yes, the entire package.
Right. So to me, there are things that are more important than the taxation of billionaires.
Like what? The targeting of trans people by his administration?
No,
Attacks on
the
freedom of
trans issue
speech
has
and
pretty
freedom
much
of
died
press.
down at this point in my mind, and like in terms of its importance. So like initially,
It's not.
it was
They're
a
literally
big
putting
deal to me,
legislation out right now to attack trans people. I have it on my fucking banner right now, waiting.
Oh yeah, but to me these are hyper minority
To
of individuals
me,
that
it's a hyper minority
Yeah.
thing, but it's not. They're doing a national initiative to target a minority group of people.
no, like there's
what do you-
0.00. I'm not trans. I like.
What does that have to
It's a
do with
tiny
it?
group of
Who
people.
cares if you're trans or not? What do you mean? It's a First Amendment
I
expression
mean, that I'm
issue.
going to vote issues that actually are
What do you
in
mean
my
you're not
interest.
trans? So you don't vote on behalf of people that need your protection just because you're not part of them? God,
Well,
you're a
I don't
fucking
really-
pussy, dude.
I don't really
do not
believe
like
that
you.
trans people need a ton of protections other than the ones that are provided.
They don't, but
in
they're
the
getting
Constitution.
stripped. Did you just see? Okay. The bill to be entitled an act relating to creating the criminal offense of gender identity fraud. Section: a person commits an offense
I
if
think
this
this is
person
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous, but you voted for them. That's a Republican.
Well, wait, but that's a state legislature. If I'm
It's a
not
state
correct.
legislature of Texas that is, of course, emboldened
which
by
would
the
be
Trump
doing
presidency.
whatever the fuck they wanted to, regardless of who was the president.
Dog, no, they fucking wouldn't. They do this because they have Project 2025 in the bag, and they have a
So you're
a
saying that the
majority.
state legislature of Texas would only act against trans people if they had a
I'm saying the
president
state
that was friendly to
legislature
them
of
in the
Texas
Oval
is
Office?
doing so because they know that they're going to be able to get
Yeah,
it
and I think they're
done and
fucking
move it
idiots
federally.
for it. I think they're
You
idiots.
think they're idiots,
Fair
but
enough.
you vote for them.
I don't live in Texas. I've never
It
voted in
doesn't
Texas.
matter if you live in Texas. You vote for the same party that has the same politics. And yes, they
So,
fucking do.
so to be clear, if there's a fringe portion of the party
They
on
aren't
the left, on the
fringe.
Democrat,
What's the fringe part of anti-trans rhetoric? It's on Fox News every fucking day.
well, you can be
Well-
anti-trans but not be that anti-trans.
What do you mean you can be anti-trans but not that anti-trans? What do you mean you can be just a little fucking racist? How
I mean, I feel
racist
like
are you,
that's-
dude? What percentage of racist are you? Let me know.
No, I understand. your
How
point, but, like,
racist are you, though? For real.
So
How
but
racist
when
is
it comes-
good? How comfortable are you with racism?
Well, these are different issues in my
no,
mind.
please
but
let me
I can
know
understand how
because
you're-
I would like to know. Just it's a metaphor.
I think racism and transphobia are two different.
I
like,
disagree. They are absolutely very similar. They are looking at someone aesthetically and making value judgments on their character.
Well, I mean, to be clear, I wouldn't even consider myself transphobic. I wouldn't be prejudiced against a trans
No,
person. I
you
ran
just
into in
act
real life.
transphobically. It's very different and more
No,
spineless.
but again, wait, how have I acted transphobic?
By voting for Donald Trump, who's openly transphobic, and Project 2025 goes after them. What do you mean you think they're stupid and then you endorse them? You're stupid. You're the stupid one
don't
because they
endorse the
go,
Texas
we're
state
going to do bad
legislature."
shit, and then you go,
Are you dumb?
okay, and then you vote for them. That's you
Are you-
being stupid,
I've
not
never
them. They
in any
played
way
you.
endorsed the Texas state legislature.
They played you. You're a fool. You thought you were smarter than
You
the
can
rest
say
of
that
us.
all you want, but again, for the 30th time, I've never endorsed the Texas state legislature. I don't like
Trans
their
rights are
anti-trans
humans' rights. Do
bullshit.
you agree?
I think that everyone should enjoy the protections of the Constitution,
Like the
and
First
federal law.
Amendment?
Yes.
So do you think trans existence is
I think
the-
that law
is a First
grossly
Amendment
violates
issue?
the First Amendment and will be struck down on constitutional grounds. Yes.
I don't think it will.
Like, what are you fucking going? You're just trying to paint me as a transphobe without any evidence. It's fucking pathetic.
Hate you as a transphobe. You voted for a transphobe. You are materially transphobic. Your
No,
effect is
to be
transphobic.
clear, I voted for females not to be in, or males not to be in female sports.
That's transphobic.
Okay, because there's a
Do you see what I'm saying? Like that's
How is that
crazy.
transphobic? Explain that.
You're literally being sexist.
Giving females space, giving females the
Female
ability to compete against each
spaces!
other. Is
Female
sexist
spaces.
now?
That's sexism, buddy. Can a woman choose to fight a man?
Yes. Can a
Okay.
man choose to fight a woman?
Yes.
Oh, so you have no problem with a guy saying, "Hey,
I have no-
Becky, let's have a fist fight," and then throwing his fist at her.
If so, consensually, Jackie and whatever can fight.
Consensually. So the women
Yes.
in these sports leagues consented to the biological males that identify as women being
Yes.
in their league. They consented to that.
Yes.
There was a vote on that.
Yes. What the leagues
Really? So point to me
operate.
where the vote occurred.
Are you talking about like the
What's
Olympic boxer?
what's the evidence of the vote of the female athletes for allowing the male athletes to compete with them? Where is that vote?
Name one that
I'm
Name-
asking
name-
you to name one time where there's been a vote of female athletes in a female league for the allowance of a male to compete with them.
in a
Name one.
name one that asked for one.
So
Oh, so
your
it's
point
not
is
a
now
non-issue?
is that because they
A
didn't
non-issue?
ask to vote,
Oh, that's
then
crazy.
it's fine. Like there
That's
isn't
fucking
massive
crazy.
pushback nationally from multiple female
There's
athletes
not a
and
pushback
multiple female
nationally.
leagues.
No,
to this
there
shit.
isn't. Do you know what there is? There is a pushback from Fox News and the right-wing media
So if
apparatus.
I show you female athletes that have actively
If I show
campaigned
you-
against this
if
and
I
have
show
been
you
damaged
female
by it,
athletes that support them, will you change your mind?
to be clear, if there are
Because
some
more
that are
female
against,
athletes support trans
some
athletes being in
supporting
their
has
sports.
nothing to do with it.
Yes, it does. If you
Was there a
listen, no.
No,
If you say
if there
that
was a
some
vote
female
conducted, then
athletes
we vote-
protesting, no, listen. If you say that one female athlete protesting is evidence that it should be banned, then multiple female athletes accepting trans people into the league is evidence that it should not be banned. Correct?
Well, unless there's massive social pressure against them
There
by the
isn't
league and
massive
everyone
social
in the
pressure.
league.
There is one side of this place that wants
So
the
I guess
social
let's get
pressure.
down to specifics.
The
Let's get down
polling
to-
on
like,
the
I don't
issue
even think
is
this a big issue, to be
overwhelming on
clear.
the side of trans people, and you made it
This
a
is
wedge
not
issue.
why I voted for Donald Trump. The
said-
trans thing was
You brought it
completely.
up as a reason you voted for Donald Trump, you
No,
fucking
you brought it
idiot.
up as a
You
reason. No,
fucking
you brought
did.
it
You
up
said,
as a reason.
I voted for Donald Trump because I don't want women to be in men's sports or vice
No,
versa.
no, I didn't. I never
Yes,
said.
you
I
fucking
never said that was
did.
even in my top 100 issues.
You literally did. You brought
No,
this
you can
up.
rewind. No, rewind the thing and
Yeah,
actually
go
get my
ahead,
words right, or
rewind
you're
it
lying.
right now. I brought up trans people. You brought up
I
this
never
issue.
said that it was a seriously important issue to me. You brought it
You
up. You
literally
were like,
brought
why
up
did you
this
vote for
issue
Trump?
of-
Because the women or because the trans people, and then you brought up the Texas thing. You're just jumping from point to point like a schizophrenic. Just actually
I think
keep my
you're
words straight,
actually a
please.
little embarrassed that each time you try to test this, it fucks up your shit because like you can't get out of it.
I
You
don't
vote
like trans
transphobically.
women competing in
I don't want
female
trans
leagues.
women competing in female. That's a
don't
transphobic
like that.
position.
Okay, so what if? Okay, so let's.
So
let's,
what
let's
if the
do an
leagues
experiment.
want trans people in the league?
So what if the difference in biology between the sexes on average?
Holy
so the average
shit.
man
I
and the
don't
average
need your
woman.
biological essentialism. It doesn't matter. Average people
Well,
are not joining
500% larger
Listen,
than they currently
no.
are.
Average people are not joining elite sports groups to compete in boxing. You cannot make averages your fucking argument when it's above
Name a
average
sport
people.
where the average female athlete can
above
compete with the average
people,
male athlete.
Above average people are the ones going to these sports leagues, and if they choose to, they can
Are
absolutely
you saying
compete
average
with
people
one
don't
another.
play sports in high school?
In high school, these aren't even leagues. If you're talking about high school, even more.
We're talking about high school and the trans.
You should
yes,
allow.
there are trans
you should allow
athletes
all
doing
kids.
the thing in high school.
You should allow all kids to compete with each other in co-ed sports leagues, and we should never have gendered them.
Regardless of average ability based on their biology.
Well, no. Of course, you try out for the team, and then you make it or don't. What the fuck are you talking about?
So,
have you ever played a sport in your life?
Right. The entire point is that there are
International
trans
Olympic
male,
Committee,
there are
IOC.
biological males that are outcompeting everyone in their division in the female league.
There is no
That's the
evidence for
point.
that. Go find it right now. There's no evidence for that.
There's not a single.
Ballion. Go find the evidence for that right now, and you can come
swimmer?
back.
What about the swimmer
about
that
that
dominated his
swimmer?
fucking league? Leah Thomas.
Leah Thomas isn't even the number one swimmer in the league.
Leah Thomas.
She's
okay.
not the number one swimmer in her league. She's
Swimming
fifth
career.
place, idiot. Dominant fifth place finish. Shut the fuck up. You're transphobic.
At some point, she was leading.
At
in her
some
league.
point,
might
she
not be
won a
anymore.
race. Oh no, a trans person succeeded. I met her stamp that out. You're a fucking disgrace.
As a woman,
I'm no more
really
transphobic.
tired of listening to men try to use my gender as a bargaining
fuck is
chip
the
or some
dingo
sort
card?
of defense in order to discriminate against another group of individuals who are so small that this is not even a real fucking problem. And
he brought it up as his wedge issue.
Even still, we know that the biological advantage thing is not real, especially if we give these people access to puberty blockers and fucking hormone therapy. Those things average out even better. So why don't we give them access to health care so that's not a fucking issue?
But think of the billionaires who won't be able to profit.
Just let them change their bodies, and then guess what? Trans women's bone density can sometimes actually get worse than cis women's because they go on testosterone blockers. Anyway, I'm tired of white knighting. No transphobia in the name of women or whatever.
Pretending that women support him is crazy. Dumb fuck, dude. I can't believe how quickly your fucking transphobia comes out, bro. Pretending to support women is so crazy. Biological advantage shit. Yeah, insane. Sure, dude. LeBron has a biological advantage. So does fucking Cheryl Swoops. Should have asked him if he supports the pay gap. Brittany Griner, right.